Hi everyone. I noticed that some of the students have some doubts in their assignment. So if you read the instructions carefully, you will be able to understand how to solve the assignment. So come to the step number 1. You can see here in the step number 1, you have to select the cells column wise A1 to E1 and row wise A1 to A7. Then you have to fill them with the color to highlight. Okay, now go to the spreadsheet to apply this step. I will open my spreadsheet, come to the cell number A1. When you click on it, make selection of cell A1 to E1. A1 to E1. I made the selection of the cells A1 to E1. Now I have to apply the color to these selected cells. You can choose any color from the fill box or color bucket. So I choose this one. Okay, now come to the next step. Here now you have to make selection row wise A1 to A7, and then you have to fill them with the color to highlight. Okay, A1 to A7, click on the color. You can apply the same color and you can choose different color. Okay, now the first step is done. Come to the next step. What you need to do, give heading to the following cells A, B1, C1, D1, E1. So in B1 you have to give the heading addition. In C1 you have to give the heading of subtraction, division and multiplication. Okay, now I will split my screen. It will be easy to you to see this. Now see the instructions and read it. In B1, I will click on B1. Make sure that you have selected the correct cell. You click on it and you see in the name box or see the highlighted column heading and row heading. Click on it. Right here, addition. In the next C1 cell, you have to write subtraction. In D1, you have to write division. And in E1, you have to write multiplication. Now you can see the multiplication, the word multiplication is so long, so it is exceeding the limit of the cell. For this purpose, for this problem, what we need to do, we will increase the size of the column, the width of the column, and for that we will go to the um, column heading and drag your mouse to the edge of the column. When you see that it is changing its symbol left to right arrow, click on it, drag it and increase the width of the column. Now you can see the column width is increased. Same problem is there with subtraction. The n of the subtraction is not visible. For that I will increase the size of the C column. Now the problem is solved. I will make selection of these cells to make them bold, to turn into the headings or to the titles. Now next step, what we need to do, we need to create the grid of the calculation. Now in B3 cell we have to write the addition formula to add B2 by A3. So we need to click on B3 cell. B3 cell, see, you have to ensure that you have clicked on the B3 cell. Here we are going to apply the formula. Okay, equal to B2 plus A3. Now you can see here it is written B2 and A3. So I have correctly mentioned the cell addresses into the formula. Enter it. Then you can see here the value 0 is showing us. Why the value is 0? Because there is no value we have added into B2 and A3. So to test the formula, I will write here, I will put the value in B2 like 10, and in A3 again I will write 20 or any other number you can mention here to add them. So when you put the value 20 and press enter, you can see 20 plus 10 equal to 30. So if I make changes in the values, so the result will be changing into the formula applied cell. Okay, now you tested the cell correctly. You tested the formula, go to the next step. In B4 we need to write the formula for the subtraction. Click on B4, equal to sign, B4 minus B2 minus A4. Okay, now I have typed the cell references. To avoid this step, there is another method to apply the cell references by only clicking on the cells. How we will do, see in the next step. I will press enter. Again it is giving me the 0 value, showing us that you have entered the formula. For division we need to uh, put the equal to sign. Now to avoid typing the cell reference, I will click on B2. When you click on B2, see what happens. The cell reference automatically added to the formula cell. For division sign we use slash symbol. Then for after that you need to click on A5 to add the cell references into the formula cell. Now you can see here it is giving us an error or message hash div/0 and this symbol. So don't worry about it. You have applied the formula correctly. So we will go to the next step for the multiplication. Equal to B2 multiply by, for multiplication sign we use asterisk or star symbol, and then you need to click on to the A6. Now you can see, you can tally all of your steps carefully, that you have done or you have applied all the steps carefully and correctly. Press here. Now what I need to do, I will write here, put the value in addition in B1, B2. The next step, what we need to do, you can see here, you have to mention the numbers into B2 to E2. So B2 to E2 we need to add the values. Okay, now you can see here, in B2 we have to write 10, then in C2 we need to write 30, in D2 we need to write 40, and in E2 we need to write 50. Now here in next step, you can see here in cells A2 to A7 we have to write 2, 4, 8, 10, 20. So in A2, 2, 4, 8, 10 and 20. Okay, I will remove this 2 because A2 is not applied into the A2 is not used into the formula cell. Okay, now come to the next step. When you see that you are going to make changes into the values, so the results are changing by itself. Now what we have done, we have applied all the formulas in addition column. We need to apply the formula correctly to the proper column wise, like subtraction formula should be going there and the division formula should be applied here in the division column, and the multiplication column should be applied here in the multiplication column. So the first, we need to remove these formulas from these cells in the addition column. Now you can see here in B3 we have already applied the formula B2 plus B3. Okay, now here we need to write the formula in C3 equal to C2, okay, minus A3. Got it? Press enter. Now you can see here the formula is applied and it is changing the values and it is giving us the result. In D3, make sure you have clicked on D3. In D3, apply the formula for the division equal to D2 divided by A3. Press enter. Then equal to E2 multiply by A3. Press enter. Now you can see here the all the formulas are applied correctly into the appropriate cells. Got it? The next step, what we need to do, we need to apply the same formula into these cells. For example, equal to B2 plus A4, press enter. Here, equal to B2 minus A4, press enter. Then equal to D2 divided by A4, press enter. Now here equal to E2 multiply by A4, press enter. Now how much it is difficult to repeat and to retype the formulas again and again. To avoid this problem, what we need to do, we need to copy the formulas into the other cells. Click on the cell where you have applied the formula, right click, copy it, and select the cells where you want to apply the formula, right click and paste it. The formula is applied onto the selected cells. Again, we are going to do the same step with other cells. Copy the subtraction formula and select the cells and right click on it and click on paste. So the formula will be applied. Another method of copying the formula, you can see here uh, at the right bottom corner you can see the small dot. As we have learned in our class that this small dot is called fill handle. When you put your mouse on it, it will change its icon. The white plus sign will be turned into the thin plus sign. So when it turn into the black color, it means that now you can use this, you can apply this function into the other cells. So it is used to copy the values to the other cells. How it is working, you can see here. I click on it and click onto that fill handle, the small dot, drag it and drop it to the other cells. Now you can see it has copied the formula into the other cells. Click on this multiplication grid. Again, do apply the same method onto the other cells and you can see it has changed, it has applied the formula successfully. So two methods we have learned to apply the formula into the other cells. For example, the copying, right clicking, copying and pasting to the other cells, and dragging and dropping the fill handle. If you are going to apply the formula into the other cells, it will be applied. Okay. Now, final step, to check the values, to check your formulas that are working correctly, what you need to do, you have to change the values of these cells to make separate, like to make difference from these cells to the formula cells. You can select these cells where we have applied the values, change them, change the color of these cells where you are going to make changes into the other cells. You can change any color, you can change them with the same color, so it will be easy to understand. Now I'm going to make changes, like I'm making 70 to 10 and 4 to 10. Now 10 plus 10 equal to 2. 30 minus 10, 20. 40 divided by 10, 4. Okay. Now 50 multiplied by 10, 500. Again, we are going to make changes in these cells, like 30, and I will make it 4. And 40, I will make 10 into 5 and make 5 into 4. Now you can see here the values are changing. You can apply the you can apply the different values and you just have fun with this activity. Hope you are now it is clear to you people. Wish you all the best. See you in the next assignment in the next class. Bye.